Hello, welcome to episode 69 of the Pixel Apocalypse podcast, the E3 pre-show. This is it, folks. This is the week that we wait for all year. The big event, the big game, if you will. E3 is starting this week. We're going to be covering it front to back, cover to cover, everything you want to know from the show. Be on the site. With me this week, Alex von Sternberg.
Fresh off of our fresh failure on talking about Star Wars, and I must say, you put it perfectly when saying we're going to be covering E3 front to back, like, this week, but also right now, because this is episode 69. I mean, I think front to back is the best way to be describing it.
Okay, fantastic. And sitting in on the second seat, Joe Anello.
Hey.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, guys, I'm ready to talk about the E3 pre-show.
The pre-show.
This is what we're doing at E3. We're having pre-shows now. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm excited.
It's like, it's kind of, I feel like we're squirting a little dog water just before we blow the full load. That's kind of what it feels like, right? Because everybody's doing their shit before the show actually starts. It's like all the press conferences, for the most part, are happening Monday. Before the show even opens, before the show floor even opens, all the press conferences are going down. Nintendo decided to jump way past the fucking gun and do their, like, a pre-press conference today. It's going down in like an hour. And I don't know if we're going to be watching it at the same time that we're podcasting. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. It's like, I hate that. It's like, we have to cover this shit. Let us know. I just got the email last night that this shit was going down. How am I going to incorporate that into a show that I've been planning for like 3 days?
Well, what the hell are they going to be talking about in this pre-show that they're not going to be talking about at their press conference? Or is it just going to be a recap, or is it going to just be a repeat, rather?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to fucking say.
Yeah, No, maybe we'll be lucky and that all they're doing in this pre-show is just talking about the shit that they know nobody gives a shit about, like Wii Music 2 and things like that.
Maybe.
That'll make me, maybe
they're just getting...
now.
Yeah, maybe they're just getting the small shit out of the way so they can save all their big announcements for the press conference, which that I could get behind. That would be smart, because there's nothing I hate more at press conferences than when fucking developers and publishers whip out the spreadsheets.
It's true, and maybe they want to devote the entire press conference to the Wii U, and they're going to be doing like 3DS stuff even today. Also, we'll find out, I guess.
See, no, maybe they'll do like their whole numbers spiel today and throw in some Wii shit.
Yeah.
But the 3DS, that's got to be at the press conference.
Yeah, you're right, because that is a new console. But
yeah, they've got to give that thing some serious loving.
They really got to get like the self-fillating out of the way today, though, and not like bombard us with it for 20 fucking minutes on Tuesday. I mean, that's just that's not fun to watch.
I was actually thinking about Nintendo's press conferences, the last few I've seen. And, Reggie comes out and he uses words like utopian and whimsical and all this other bullshit. And it's just like, Reggie, I'm not 5 years fucking old. It's like, I'm not a toddler. Treat me like an adult. And just now just give me my next Mario game. Give me my next fucking Kirby game. But don't treat me like a fucking child when you do it. I don't know. I get that feeling from watching like they're trying to tap that inner child, and sometimes it works. Like Miyamoto is really good at that. Yeah. Because he comes out and he just embodies that sense of adventure and that sense of just fun that is somehow embedded in like almost every one of Nintendo's major IPs.
Well, yeah,
but like Reggie, I just feel like he's just a suit trying to sell shit to me.
Yeah, I've always liked Reggie a little bit more than the other stuffy suits that are at the press conferences. There's something more likable and approachable about him. But yeah, I totally agree with you. We were talking about Miyamoto just the other day about how, like, even when he's doing bullshit like Wii Music that's just completely embarrassing, you just can't help but feel yourself smiling when you see him just doing something.
Yeah, dude, he's just up on stage with that shit-eating grin and fucking going nuts. The guy's, I mean, we all know the guy is insane, right? I mean, he's completely off his fucking rocker.
Yeah,
he's batshit, yeah.
Nobody can have that fucking weird-ass Joker smile and not be a little fucking batshit. But he does it in a fun way, so it works out well. But let's just start off with Microsoft. Let's just get right into the press conferences, what we think we're going to see, what we want to see, all that good shit. Start off with Microsoft.
Grown.
Halo 4.
Yeah.
Halo 4 is going to dominate their press conference, because quite honestly, it's the only really. I mean, even Gears of War Judgment that just got announced, even that's going to be taking a backseat to Halo 4.
Yeah, I mean, and we're there's not going to be a public unveiling of See, I was thinking like when I heard about Gears Judgment, and I didn't know yet that it was going to be People Can Fly developing it, not Epic. I was thinking, oh wait, Gears Judgment, this is going to be the unveiling of Unreal 4, but then I found out that that's not going to get a public unveiling until GTTV next week, so it's just going to be
and quite honestly, I don't think the current 360 could run Unreal
Probably
4.
not. Well, there's been some interviews where like they where Epic has said we're only planning PC with Unreal 4 at the moment, so
right until the next consoles come out, we're not going to see it on a console. But Halo 4, I mean, this is big for 343. This is kind of their coming out party. Halo Anniversary Edition was a nice kind of taste of what they could do with this franchise, and they've got a fucking huge studio behind this, and they've got a ton of talent. But I'm a little worried that they're trying to out Halo Bungie. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, do they have people from Bungie on the team?
I don't think so.
See,
I don't think there was people that actually stayed behind.
Yeah.
I could be wrong about that. I didn't actually research that, but from when Bungie kind of split from Microsoft and finished up with Reach, I didn't hear of any, anybody leaving the fold and going over to 343 to keep working on Halo. And I couldn't blame them. They've been working on Halo for 15 years at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got 343, and they're working on this, and basically, I think what we're going to see at the press conference is the best part of Halo 4, and that will be the demo, and everything else is just like there's still a question mark behind it. Until this game actually releases, there's going to be a huge question mark behind it, like whether 343 can come to play or not.
Well, and I'm just wondering if like we're actually going to see anything. I feel like we were talking about this too, about anything beyond multiplayer, because I think that I don't know. I'm just wondering if they're going to be pushing multiplayer more than anything else.
See, I think so, because I think that's where they have the most to prove. Because say what you will about single-player campaigns and shooters, Halo's has always been a little bit deeper than the rest of the fucking bunch.
Well, yeah, my rant about single-player campaigns and shooters is amended by Halo. I would say that if there was any game that could do it and probably will do it justice, the story of a shooter, it will be Halo 4 this year. I hope. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I.
We really haven't seen 343 tackle multiplayer, because the multiplayer in Halo Anniversary Edition was just Halo Reach's multiplayer.
Sure, yeah, with different. Maps.
With a couple new maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
this will
expect to see a lot of multiplayer from this one. I mean, they're going to need to show they can blow shit up just as well as anybody else.
But they also need to show that they have respect for the mythos. I mean, I think they have the most to prove with this game in general. You're absolutely right, Nate, that it's going to be, like, a lot is going to be resting on the shoulders of Halo 4 and 343.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think Halo 4 will definitely take center stage. I mean, it's going to trump everything else they bring out. It'll probably be the last thing we see at the press conference. And other than that, Halo 4, great, but it's got a 4 at the end of it. Gears doesn't have a 4 at the end of it, but it kind of has a 4 at the end of it, even though the Gears Judgment is a prequel.
Yeah,
it's still the 4th game in the franchise. Forza's on its 5th, and I'm sure we'll see something from that, even though I doubt it'll release till like holiday season 2013. Metal Gear Solid, I think Revengeance will probably be the other big title that they have at the show floor.
Because what they're trying, because like when Rising was first announced, it was at the Microsoft press conference, so it would only make sense that they would do it again. But you mentioned also Black Ops 2. I mean, Call of Duty's always had a presence at Microsoft's E3 press conferences because, for obvious reasons, that frankly the Call of Duty box is the Xbox, so it makes sense that it will be there. So we are going to see.
Well, I think Call of Duty. It's going to be interesting because Black Ops 2, I'm sure, will have a presence at the PlayStation conference as well, and possibly at the Wii U.
Oh man, see that'll be where it'll be most interesting. We'll be at the Nintendo conference. We'll get to that later, I'm sure.
Right, but I'm pretty sure that the actual demo that will be at the press conference or the Microsoft press conference. Absolutely. Yeah. They'll have the developers out on stage playing it. That's usually how it goes. So that's probably what we'll see. The Gears of War Judgment, it's from the little information we have so far, it's a prequel. It's starring Baird and Coltrane, possibly the most racist African American character in a video game ever. I've never seen anybody shuck and jive quite as much, with the possibility of the black guy from Final Fantasy 13.
I was gonna say, what about the Final Fantasy series or anything from a Japanese developer for that matter?
No, they're neck and neck, dude. They're
Okay.
neck and neck.
Well, I feel like if well, wait, what about Resident Evil 5? I mean, the list goes on, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I kind of, it makes me want to play the Gears of War games just so I can play them with my jaw hanging open at the unbelievable
Oh,
racism.
absolutely. Seriously, I said it before. I'll say it again. They might as well have gotten somebody to do a Kingfish impersonation
God.
and have him voice Coltrane, because
Yeah.
it's pretty bad.
You know, I'll give you one further. What they should have done is they should have animated a white guy with blackface. That would have made the most amount of sense. Actually, model
Right.
after Al Jolson. That's the best way to do it.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Epic's involved in the development of Judgment, but it sounds like People Can Fly, the developers behind Bulletstorm, are
Yeah.
actually taking lead on this game, which is interesting because I thought Bulletstorm was a really good game.
It was
I mean,
fun,
yeah, it was fun. I mean, the story was a little bit, and the dialogue was a little bit ridiculous, but whatever. It tried to out Duke Nukem, and kind of did.
Yeah.
If you played Duke Nukem Forever. So yeah, I think it was. They've been working with People Can Fly for a while now. I think it's probably the right choice to keep the Gears franchise going and allows Epic to work on something new, maybe possibly another Unreal game.
Well, I gotta ask. People Can Fly. Were they the ones that did Shadow Complex too? Shadow Complex, or was that a different developer?
Were they? I can't remember. That was so
See,
long ago.
Well, because if it was Shadow Complex, if it was People Can Fly, I mean, who made that game, there's been people clamoring for a Shadow Complex 2. It's most definitely not happening if it was People Can Fly.
Wasn't
this
there a big
point.
controversy around Shadow Complex because it was the author of the source material was wildly racist?
I have no idea. I don't care. I mean, Shadow Complex looked like a fun game, but I mean, I really didn't understand people were going so fucking nuts over it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I remember about Shadow Complex, except for the fact that it was like a side scroller with executions and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like a big thing about, I think like the author of the source material was a huge homophobe or something like that.
Well,
I can't even
gamers and
remember.
homophobia. I mean, that's kind of like peanut butter and jelly. It's you just
Speak for yourself. I love our gay brothers and sisters,
Nate loves that shit.
especially the sisters. What do you think, Joe? Are you excited about the Gears of War Judgment? A little prequel action?
No.
Is it a
No.
prequel?
You guys are putting me
Yeah,
to sleep
it's-
with the
it's
Halo 4,
confirmed
the
to be a
Gears 4,
prequel.
the
Oh,
Black
okay.
Ops 2. I'm snoozing over here.
Yeah, exactly.
So many
There
sequels.
is not a single new IP to be found.
I just took
Yeah.
a nap. Halo
Well,
4.
I mean,
Gears
Metal
4.
Gear Rising: Revengeance,
That's a vague new IP. It's
kind of, sorta.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Which, like, well, yeah, okay.